Hi, my name is Monica Leitner-Laserna, and this is my interview tape for Powderhouse Studios. I was really excited to learn about your school and your model, and in this video I'll talk about some of the things that I'm most interested in and what I would like to teach if I were selected to work there. So to start off, I really love that Powderhouse is student-based learning and project-based learning. So I've worked in a lot of different schools teaching different contents. But what I found across the board is that when students have choice and are able to study the things that they're interested in, they tend to be more engaged and have more ownership of the work and the outcomes of that work. I also love that Powderhouse has designed their schedule so that students really have these big blocks of time to work on their projects. The other thing I love about Powderhouse is the fact that there are no grades. I really think that a lot of schools break students up arbitrarily by age, when in fact students of many ages can learn together effectively and learn with each other. So I think that's a really great thing that you've implemented. I love that there's no homework. Homework tends to be very stressful for young people and also tends to be pretty ineffective in terms of learning. So it's really nice that students won't have to think about homework. The fact that the school starts later in the day and ends a little bit later is also really great. Gives young people an opportunity to actually get a full night's sleep. And there have been many studies that show that young people actually don't function very well in the early mornings. I also love that the school is year-round. Students that have summer vacation tend to fall behind in those months when they're not studying. So by having it year-round, students are ensured that they'll keep up their academic performance throughout the year. I love that staff are encouraged and are expected to have really long-lasting personal relationships with their students, and that it's going to be a small school and have small classes. So those are two things that are pretty detrimental in most public schools. I've worked in schools where I had 42 students, and I've worked in schools where I had smaller classes. And obviously having smaller classes, you're able to give more individualized attention to your students. And finally, on that point, I love that Powderhouse is really seeing each student as an individual and coming up with educational plans for each student independently and recognizing that each student has different needs and supporting them in those needs. So I love the model. I think it's taking some of the aspects of schools that are the most problematic and really rethinking them. When it comes to English language learners also, I really love that on the website it says that they're really looking for someone to help them rethink the way that they deal with second language acquisition and also special ed as well. In terms of what I would be interested in teaching, my main interest is actually history. And what I've found is that there's a lot of other things that involve history that can be integrated. So one of the classes I teach now is I teach a nutrition and cooking class at Haley House in Roxbury. And one of the things that we've been talking about in the class is the history of our most common fruits and vegetables and how colonization has really impacted our diets, and understanding the things that we eat right now in a historical context. And so for me, what I would be really interested in teaching at Powderhouse is a history class that is really about students kind of understanding themselves, understanding their society, how we got to where we are right now, and through this historical lens. So again, I am really excited about the Powderhouse model. There are so many aspects of this school that I think will be an incredible opportunity, not just for the students, but also for the staff that will be working with them. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you.